Now at 6, investigations are underway after a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We're hearing from lawmakers from East Tennessee and how they're reacting.
Plus, big budget decisions are shaping the future of Knoxville, where the money's going and what City Council needs to decide before it can take effect.
And it is the last week of early voting in Knox County. We have where you can cast your ballot before that deadline. Today is Monday, April 27th, 2026.
News is sponsored by Quality Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. We hope you had a nice weekend. We finally got that rain that we've been waiting for.
The wedding was okay.
It was okay. It worked out.
I can't even tell you all Saturday. I was like,
Rebecca, keep me posted.
I know. I kept watching it, and it made my heart hurt. But I mean, we did need the precipitation. The rain was so nice to have. We actually had some showers and thunderstorms, which was kind of exciting a little bit into your Saturday. And then yesterday was really nice. So we had a balance of both, folks. We're looking at a pretty quiet start to your Monday morning, where we do have temperatures into the middle 50s. Winds are light. Dew points are into the middle 50s. So all is quiet at this moment. Cloud cover is going to continue to increase as we go forward throughout the next 24 hours. And then late tonight and into tomorrow, we track the potential for some showers and thunderstorms. Some of these storms could potentially be on the stronger side, but I'm not I'm not overly concerned. Let me just put it in that sense. I'll continue to have much more as we highlight your extended forecast for the rest of the day and what those showers and thunderstorms will look like. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. A man is in custody this morning after officials say he fired shots at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and members of the president's cabinet were all in attendance. Here's a live look at the White House this morning. The Correspondents' Dinner is an annual gathering that celebrates the news media and freedom of the press. It's held at the Washington Hilton, less than 10 minutes from the White House. The Secret Service says the gunman ran through a security checkpoint and exchanged gunfire with agents and police. A U.S. Secret Service agent was shot, but officials say the bullet only hit his protective vest.
Well, now we are hearing reaction from leaders across the country and here in Tennessee about the shooting. Governor Bill Lee posted a statement on X, writing, "I pray God's continued protection over America's leaders and thank the Secret Service and law enforcement officers who continually work to keep our country safe." Congressman Tim Burchett posted that he is thankful for the decisive action by our Secret Service. Pray for our community. He later made 2 more posts saying that the Secret Service is unfunded tonight because of the government shutdown, and this is another reason we need the Donald Trump ballroom. But it is important to clarify here that workers with the Secret Service, ICE, and Border Patrol are being paid through this partial government shutdown. A senior administration official says the big beautiful bill is paying the Secret Service. Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs posted on his social media saying, "I'm thankful that everyone is safe after last night's incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Political violence is never acceptable." We have a full list of Tennessee lawmaker reactions right now on WBIR.com.
New this morning, a new Tennessee law will bring state troopers into downtown Knoxville with expanded authority. It allows the Tennessee Highway Patrol to make arrests alongside local police in tourism zones.
Sarah Oppen is joining us in studio now with an explanation on what this means for safety and for law enforcement downtown. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Brittany. Heather, the law expands the role of state troopers beyond highways and into downtown Knoxville. It gives them the same authority as the Knoxville Police Department to investigate crimes and make arrests. While some people see that as added protection, others question how it will work in practice. Supporters say more officers could help deter crime and make busy areas safer, especially at night. But critics warn adding another agency could create confusion over who's in charge during emergencies. That concern centers on how state and local officers will coordinate on the ground.
I think it's a good thing for sure. I don't feel unsafe here in the day, but I still think, as a woman, I still get scared sometimes to come here alone. So I usually try to go with my friends, but I feel like I would be less scared if they were around more often, especially at night.
In a statement, the Knoxville Police Department says it's still evaluating the bill's impact, but expects its strong working relationship with THP to continue. We also reached out to the Tennessee Highway Patrol for comment more than a week ago, but have not heard back. The 7 other tourism development zones that this bill affects are located in Nashville, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Memphis, and Chattanooga. I'll have more details on this law coming up in the next half hour. I'll send it back to you to Brittany and Heather for now.
All right, Sarah, thank you. And tomorrow, City Council members are set to discuss Mayor India Kincannon's most recent city budget proposal. On Friday, Mayor Kincannon gave her next to last State of the City address. The new budget is close to $500 million. She explained that the biggest chunk of that money will go toward paying first responders. This spending plan does call for no tax increase. City Council has to approve the plan before it could go into effect. Kincannon also proposed $1.4 million for zoo projects, including a rhino exhibit, $8 million for affordable housing, and a $500,000 contribution for a Habitat for Humanity community in the Alice Bell community of East Knoxville. The proposal calls for having roughly $1 in every $5 of the budget going to police and fire salaries and benefits. The mayor also proposes adding 5 uniformed Knoxville police officers, the first in 5 years.
Mayor Kincannon says even with a tight budget, keeping firefighters safe and ready to respond remains a priority. That's why $2.7 million will go to renovations and upgrades in life-saving equipment, radios, and defibrillators. Just under $1 million will go to the renovation of Fire Station 15 in Fountain City. The station dates back to the early 1960s, and fire department leaders say it has very few upgrades since then. The renovations will focus on making the station more modern.
It'll be the inside. That's what you're going to see the most. There'll be some creature comforts additions made to it. Kitchen will be modernized. The day room, the office spaces, some of that kind of stuff will change.
Assistant Chief Mark Wilbanks says the station's also set to get their engine and ladder trucks replaced sometime in the next year. You can watch the mayor's full State of the City address streaming right now on WBIR+. Download it on your TV and watch for free. For now, we send it to Rebecca. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Monday. Sunrise this morning, 6:47. Sunset tonight, 8:19. And it's going to be a really nice day today for the most part, folks. Highs getting into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Relatively quiet. Again, not much happening for most of the day today. We'll start to see cloud cover increasing late tonight and into the early hours of your Tuesday. So tomorrow morning, going to be a little bit on the busier side. We do have the potential for some showers and thunderstorms, and some of these storms could be on the stronger side, but I'd say that our risk for severe weather is going to be relatively low. After the morning round of rain moves out, we will see a little bit of a drier rest of your Tuesday, and then another round of showers and thunderstorms will arrive late tomorrow night and as we go into your Wednesday. So a lot of this activity happening into the overnight hours. We'll have more coming up as we look ahead to your extended forecast. For now, we want to get you outside with a check of your TDOT cameras. Drive times in the green as you step outside early this morning. This is a viewpoint from I-40 at Hall of Fame, where everything is moving smooth and steady. We'll have much more coming up with a check of your traffic and your forecast in just a few minutes. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. Right now, several parts of Georgia are under evacuation orders as 2 wildfires spread rapidly across the state. Officials say more than 40,000 acres have burned between the 2 fires. A curfew's been implemented in several fire zones so emergency crews can safely battle the flames. Officials are now warning strong winds are expected and could cause the fire to spread even faster.
I've said this is a dynamic fire event that is wind driven. It has stoked that fire, and this is a major event. So please, if you're given an evacuation order, leave the scene. This fire is moving at a fast pace, and we do not have much control over where it's currently moving. Please leave.
The wildfire sparked 1 week ago today and has destroyed more than 120 homes. In total, more than 150 wildfires are burning across Georgia and Florida. Investigators believe one of the Georgia fires may have started when a balloon from a children's party crashed into a power line.
In just more than a week, we expect to find out who will be on the August ballot for Blount County Mayor. The current mayor, Ed Mitchell, has served the county for 16 years and is not seeking re-election. So 6 candidates are in the running to replace him. Jared Anderson, Brad Bowers, Sean Carter Sr., Brett Coulter, and Jerome Moon are all running as Republicans. And Democrat Brian Thompson is also on the ballot on the Democratic side. Now, among the candidates, traffic is a top issue.
We can't accommodate the people we have now. We're behind on our roads, so I think some attention is going to be brought to that.
Hopefully we can widen our intersections, make better turning lanes, just provide better roads like where you can exit on and off, or just a connector road or a main road.
I'd like to focus us on developing a 10-year capital plan for infrastructure and traffic needs, putting together a mayoral traffic task force so we can track commute times and develop those projects that we need to make sure that our quality of life doesn't diminish.
You've got to have infrastructure that's been planned, and that means holistically planning. That means communication between all of the cities.
State Representative Jerome Moon is also running for county mayor. We have reached out to him several times since April 15th, but a press secretary said his duties during the legislative session have kept him from talking to us before our deadline. Meanwhile, Brian Thompson is running unopposed on the Democratic ballot. He says he feels confident he can solve the traffic problem.
So we're not going through anything truly unprecedented. Everywhere is dealing with change, and we can deal with it too.
The race for mayor won't be decided until the August general election, where Thompson, the Democratic candidate there, will face the winner of the Republican primary.
Well, this week, early voting ends in Knox County, and of the 264,000 voters who can vote, 17,000 have cast their ballots early in the primary. Early voting ends this Thursday, and here's a look at the locations open this week. Most close at 6 every day except Wednesday, when they close at 7. The most powerful offices in the county are on the ballot, including mayor, sheriff, and county commission seats. In our most recent episode of Inside Tennessee, anchor John Becker sat down with political analyst Don Bosch and former Representative Eddie Smith to talk about the importance of early voting and the races to watch in Knox County right now.
It's about 5% of the eligible population has voted so far. So while it's encouraging, there's still over half of the early voting. So I just want to encourage, if you're out there and you haven't voted yet, because a lot of the races will be decided in this primary election. There's no Democrat running in the general. So get out and let your voice be heard.
I'm impressed with the number that's coming out. It still falls far short of what I would hope, but I'm not concerned as a Democrat. There just isn't much to vote for on the primary side. Almost the good news for the Democrats, almost every race, unlike times before, we have a good candidate in that race in the general election coming up this summer.
You can watch the entire episode of Inside Tennessee right now on WBIR Plus. Just download on your TV and watch for free.
We will get to your national stories in 5 minutes. Oil prices are getting higher and higher. We have where peace talks with Iran stand as the cost to fill your tank rises.
Plus, a small gesture from Knox County law enforcement at 6:17, how it's giving new hope in the region's fight against addiction.
And although it's going to be a pretty nice day today, we are tracking the potential for weather impact alerts in place through tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. We'll have details on your extended forecast in just a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Monday. As you head outside, we're going to continue to see temperatures into the lower 80s today. So a nice mild start to the week. Perfect weather to get outside, which I would actually highly encourage you doing, because tomorrow we have showers and thunderstorms that'll move through like early tomorrow morning. And then late tomorrow night and into your Wednesday, we also see a little bit more of an active weather pattern. We do have a weather impact alert day in place, folks. While we have it, I don't want to say like I'm not concerned, but I will say that I think my concern level for strong to severe thunderstorms is kind of like at a medium to low. So with that being said, if thunderstorms make you a little bit more anxious, have your alerts turned on tonight, have your devices charged. You can always follow us for the very latest with this cluster of storms that's going to be pushing in. We do have a level 1 and a level 2 risk that will be in place as we head into your Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, after the morning activity moves out, we're specifically just going to be seeing some rain. So let's put our futurecast into motion again. For most of the day today, dry, beautiful, temperatures getting back into the 80s. Late tonight and early tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have to move this back just a little bit. We do see the potential for some showers and thunderstorms. The stronger storms likely gonna be across parts of the plateau, and then this weakening system is gonna be sliding in as we get closer to around sunrise. So it's going to be a wet commute tomorrow morning taking the kiddos to school. We go into your Tuesday night and into your Wednesday. Here comes another round of some showers and thunderstorms possible. That round could also be a little bit on the stronger side. And then following that, we do trend drier and quieter and a little bit cooler as we go throughout the second half of the week. But beautiful, much needed rain going to be pushing into the area. The rest of your 7-day forecast, we show highs into the 60s with rain showers possible Friday into Saturday. I'd say coverage is going to be rather light. For now, we want to get you out on the roads with a check of your TDOT cameras. Drive times in the green as you head outside early this morning with no major slowdowns. As we take a look at 275 at High School, you can see that traffic is continuing to move smooth and steady. We'll have much more coming up with a look at your forecast in just a few minutes. Brittany and Heather.
Rebecca, thank you. Time now coming up on 6:17, and we turn to your national headlines. Oil prices are getting higher. Yesterday, the international benchmark for oil prices rose more than 2%. Now, a single barrel costs more than $107. U.S. crude oil also went up 2%, now costing more than $96 a barrel. Analysts say that prices rose after an Iranian official warned that shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz will not return to what it was before the United States and Israel attacked Tehran. Peace talks between the U.S. and Iran are at a standstill after President Donald Trump canceled a diplomatic meeting.
At least 2 people are dead after severe storms hit Texas. This is video of the damage. Powerful winds tore roofs off homes and buildings this past weekend. The storms have displaced dozens of families. Leaders issued a disaster declaration to make resources available for recovery efforts. The National Weather Service reports an EF2 tornado whipped through the area.
King Charles is expected to arrive in Washington, D.C. today. The British monarch is expected to be joined by Queen Camilla for the 4-day visit. The visit will include a rare address to a joint meeting of Congress, only the second by a British monarch. Leaders of Buckingham Palace say that trip will highlight the relationship between the two allies.
An act of kindness by local deputies helps highlight the outpouring of support for people struggling with addiction. According to the TBI, about 70,000 Tennesseans struggle with an addiction to opioids. One woman in Knoxville got stranded while trying to get to her appointment at Cedar Recovery.
And Olivia Dagg shares the good deed that's now serving as a broader example of help and hope across our community.
On Wednesday, a woman in crisis was stranded on the side of a back road in South Knoxville. Before her car broke down, she was on her way to an appointment here at Cedar Recovery.
And we specialize in opioid use disorder and any form of addiction.
This clinic and its 14 other locations use medication like methadone to treat addiction.
You're using an opioid to treat opioid use disorder, and people scratch their head at that, but it has about a 70% mortality benefit, meaning 70% of the people who wouldn't have died don't. And that's a good thing.
Leaders here say the stigma around this treatment is changing in East Tennessee, but they didn't expect this.
You know, just going about a regular day, and we had 2 Knox County Police Department cars pull up.
Patients and staff were a little on edge. Charlotte Booker, a recovery counselor here, struggled with addiction for 17 years.
I once was that person, you know, and law enforcement to me was not always nice.
But instead, Knox County deputies not only helped the woman safely tow her car, but drove her to her appointment.
They jumped right into action to make sure they took the appropriate steps to be able to make sure that she was provided continuity of care.
Employees here say it was more than a good deed.
It made her see law enforcement differently. They're really trying to help us now, and I'm seeing that.
Their hope is this act was a sign that attitudes are shifting and more people will seek treatment.
Well, all 3 people interviewed have been touched by this disease in some way, either having struggled with addiction themselves or losing a family member to drugs. And if you are struggling with addiction, we do have more information online about resources right now on WBIR.com.
It's 6:20 now. We check in on that forecast with Rebecca.
Let me switch the camera because we got to show people out doing fishing. Y'all know I love my Douglas Lake camera. Did he catch a fish? Wait, did they catch a fish? Someone's walking up. I think they have a fish. Maybe not. Maybe it's just some bait. Nope, you're right. No fish. Womp womp. Showers and thunderstorms going to be possible as we go throughout the evening hours tonight and as we head into your Tuesday. So no one's going to be able to do any fishing tomorrow morning. Another round of rain is going to move into the area tomorrow night and as we go into your Wednesday. So we do have the potential for like a little bit of some active weather, folks. But again, concerns for severe weather still relatively low. The biggest concern truly is going to be some gusty winds as well as some heavy rain. So here's the risk for today. This is particularly for like late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then similar story tomorrow night. And as we go into your Wednesday, some of the biggest risks that we have in place will be wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour if we do see any severe thunderstorm warnings. Heavy rain going to lead to some concerns as this, especially the ground has, been relatively dry. So if we get some of that heavy rain quick enough, it could lead to some of the chances for some localized flooding. And although quarter-size hail is there, I'd say that the risk is going to be relatively low. We'll continue to have much more on your Futurecast and your 7-day in just a few minutes. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. In 3 minutes, we'll have 3 things to know, including a look at the end of the Ice Bears playoff run.
Plus, 5 Vols heard their names called in the 2026 NFL Draft at 6:25. What rounds they went in and where they're headed.
And then in our next half hour, jockeys are gearing up for this weekend's Kentucky Derby. At 6:38, we have a look at one father-son duo getting ready to hit the track.
Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Meteorologist Rebecca Sweet here. As we head throughout the rest of the day, we're forecasting highs into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. It's going to be pretty quiet for most of the day today. A few clouds rolling into the region. Late tonight and into the early hours of your Tuesday, we're tracking our first cluster of showers and thunderstorms. This one is going to bring in the best chance for some stronger storms across parts of the plateau, but it continues to weaken as it slides off to the east. We'll look at a fairly quiet forecast as we head throughout the rest of your Tuesday night and into your Wednesday. Here comes another round of potentially some stronger storms. This one I kind of feel a little bit better about, maybe seeing some of those stronger storms, and then the rest of your Wednesday, we just have the chance for seeing some spotty showers. Your 7-day forecast, we're showing highs into the 60s and 70s by the end of the week, so we are trending below average by the end of April and early May.
It's 6:24. Here are 3 things to know before you head out the door this morning. The Knoxville Ice Bears fell to the Peoria Rivermen in Game 5 of the second round of playoffs. They lost last night's game 1-0 with the only goal scored in the second period. This is the second year in a row the Ice Bears have reached the playoffs and not brought home the President's Cup. Last year they lost in the championship game against Evansville.
The 2026 NFL Draft wrapped up this weekend, and 5 Tennessee Vols were selected. Colton Hood was the first Vol to hear his name called. The New York Giants drafted him in the second round. Chris Brazzell went in the third round to the Carolina Panthers. The Las Vegas Raiders picked up Jermod McCoy. The fourth Vol to be drafted was Joshua Josephs. He was selected in the 5th round by the Washington Commanders. And lastly, Tyree West was selected by the Detroit Lions in the 7th round. 7 other former Vols, including quarterback Joey Aguilar, went undrafted but did later sign with NFL teams.
Girl Scouts of Southern Appalachian celebrated its 2026 Gold Award recipients. 24 young women from right here in East Tennessee have achieved the organization's highest honor. The award represents exceptional achievement in leadership, development, positive values, and service. Nationally, only 6% of eligible Girl Scouts receive the award. Gold Award recipients dedicate hours of hard work, planning and executing a sustainable project that addresses a need in the community. It's 6:25 now. We're checking in on that 7-day forecast. Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning, everybody. As you head outside, we're going to continue to see temperatures. Don't mind me on my phone just replying to people. Let me stand up. It's my last day. Give me a break, folks, before maternity leave. We're going to continue to see temperatures back into the lower 80s. A nice day today. Showers and thunderstorms move into the region as we go throughout the evening hours tonight and into your Tuesday. Another round moves into the region as we go into your Tuesday and into your Wednesday. We'll talk more in detail about these showers and thunderstorms coming up. Ladies, I'm just going to text it back to you that we're coming back.
Okay, great. Hey, you do what you want.
There you go.
We also have more top stories ahead for you after the break. One person is dead after a shooting in Pigeon Forge. We'll have what we know at this point in the investigation.
Plus, the housing crisis is hitting home in Knoxville at 6:50. How millions of dollars in funding decisions could impact who stays and who struggles.
My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people.
Now at 6:30, a man accused of shooting inside the hotel of the White House Correspondents' Dinner is expected to be charged. The latest investigations into his motive.
Plus, state troopers could be patrolling the streets of Knoxville. We'll have how a new bill is changing the state's jurisdiction.
And getting your annual checkup could take longer thanks to a new bill. Hear from supporters who say the issue stems from immigration. Today, Monday, April 27th, 2026.
10 News is sponsored by Quality Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Welcome back on this Monday morning, folks. Boy, it has been a little bit of a journey here in the studio this morning so far. I wish we could have shown you. Our camera downtown was just
spinning, circling,
wildly out of control.
Like I saved y'all from not putting that on there. I was like, we're not showing that because that's going to make y'all get sick. So I was trying to show you the sunrise because it's beautiful this morning. Here's a glimpse over downtown Knoxville. We'll show you our tower camera overlooking downtown Knoxville. Equally as nice. You notice we still kind of have some of that haziness from some of those wildfires continuing to burn here across East Tennessee. Let's see if our tower camera, oh no, look, our downtown camera, it finally stopped moving. And that's pretty too. So that's a really nice view as well. Gosh, what a great start to your Monday. Wake up temperatures into the 50s. We do have temperatures that are going to be topping off today into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Cloud cover is going to be increasing. This is all ahead of our chance for some showers and thunderstorms late tonight and into the early hours of your Tuesday. Wake up temperatures not too bad. You might want to grab a light jacket as you head outside. The rest of the day looks incredible. We'll have more details on those showers and thunderstorms we'll see later on tonight coming up. Brittany and Heather.
Rebecca, thank you. The suspect who allegedly fired shots during the White House Correspondents' Dinner is expected to be charged in federal court today. Investigators say Cole Allen wrote about targeting officials of the Trump administration 10 minutes before the attack.
Investigators say the suspect was already staying at the hotel and was able to get through the lobby level of the Washington Hilton. Investigators say Allen entered through a terrace-level security checkpoint and then ran about 60 feet. The ballroom, where the president, cabinet, and media were seated, is deeper inside the hotel. At one point, officials say the incident went down roughly 50 yards away from that room, but he never made it inside. Shortly after the attack, President Trump held a news conference talking about what happened.
We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughingstock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
According to Allen's sister, he bought several guns and kept them stored at his home in California with his parents. In his note, federal investigators say Allen wrote about the type of weapons and ammo he would use to, quote, minimize casualties.
One person is dead after a shooting at Dolly Parton Stampede in Pigeon Forge. Police say they responded Saturday night after reports of a shot going off in the parking lot. When officers arrived, they found two men in a car. Police say one man said his handgun discharged and hit the other man. The man was taken to the hospital where he died.
Receiving health care access across the state could take longer. It comes after lawmakers passed a new bill. The bill passed both the House and the Senate and would require every person's legal status to be checked before they receive public health care and benefits. An amendment to the bill exempts the Department of Children's Services from that requirement. The bill states if an employee fails to report someone is in the country illegally, they could be charged with a misdemeanor. Supporters of the bill say it will help with the state's debt, while critics argue this will make the entire health care system harder.
They have to do this verification process for everybody that walks in the door. This is something that slows down services for every Tennessean.
Representative Dennis Powers introduced the bill and says it will not impact healthcare workers. Instead, he says it's a way to keep track on who is in the state legally.
When you get on a plane, you have to show ID. There's many other places in this country where you have to show ID, and being trained to do that is not going to be a great burden on anyone in our country or in our state.
Representative Powers says if it is an emergency, the person will be treated, but healthcare officials will be required to report to the Department of Homeland Security every month. Officials say this is only for state-run agencies, which means homeless shelters and mental health care centers will not have to report. The bill now heads to Governor Lee's desk for his signature.
New this morning, a new state law could soon change how downtown Knoxville is managed. It gives the state power to create rules for tourism zones that may override local policies.
Sarah Ottman joins us in the studio with what that could mean for public spaces and control. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Heather, Brittany. This bill goes beyond policing and gives the state a larger role in how downtown Knoxville operates. It directs the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development to create rules for tourism zones across Tennessee. Those rules will shape everything from public space use to sanitation. The law calls for regulation on things like loitering, camping, and keeping sidewalks and business entrances clear. It also sets expectations for trash removal, cleanliness, and maintaining public areas. Supporters say that it's necessary to protect tourism and ensure visitors and locals feel safe.
I mean, there are homeless people around, and that is really unfortunate, but they're not going to go anywhere. There's nowhere else for them to go, and it's a really unfortunate situation. And so I think to keep them safe and other people safe, it's really important for state troopers to be around.
Critics say the law could allow the state to override local decisions on issues like public space use and sanitation. Democratic Senator Jeff Yarborough voted against the bill, saying it will cause a chain of command issues with multiple different law enforcements. In a statement, the Knoxville Police Department says it's reviewing the bill and expects to continue working closely with state troopers. We did request a comment from the Tennessee Highway Patrol to learn more about how operations would work, but never received a response. Most of the law is now set to take effect in January 2027 after lawmakers pushed back the original timeline to give the state time to create those rules. For now, Brittany, Heather, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much. More than 30 first responders in Knoxville are now specially trained to handle a crisis. The co-responder team, that is a partnership between Knoxville Police and the McNabb Center, started back in 2020. The program is meant to help law enforcement respond to calls of people struggling with mental health or substance abuse.
It's a mindset of, I've got other places I can take someone to. I can divert that. Where I used to take them to jail, I can now take them to treatment. And that mindset is a flip, you know, and it helps steer people in a different way of thinking, I think.
Officials say before graduating, first responders have to take 40 hours of intensive training, which helps them to identify mental health resources and learn verbal de-escalation skills. Now we'll take a break from the headlines on this Monday and check back in with Rebecca for our forecast.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. We do have a sunrise this morning, 6:47, so coming up here in about 10 minutes. Sunset tonight, 8:19, and it's going to be a fantastic day here across East Tennessee. Warm and nice. Cloud cover continuing to increase. This is all ahead of some potential showers and thunderstorms arriving late tonight and early tomorrow morning. We've made tomorrow morning a weather impact alert day, or I should say all day tomorrow, because we have 2 different rounds of showers and thunderstorms that'll be pushing through. Truth be told, folks, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see perhaps maybe a few warnings across parts of the plateau, but as this system slides into the Central Valley, I just don't quite know if it's going to have the same kind of oomph. We'll head throughout the rest of your Tuesday fairly dry, recovering from some of that rain, and then more showers and thunderstorms arrive late tomorrow night. And as we go into your Wednesday, we'll have much more coming up with a look at your extended forecast and your 7-day in just a few minutes. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. The 152nd Kentucky Derby is this weekend, and one father-son duo is gearing up for the race of a lifetime. 2-time Derby winning trainer Bill Mott will be back after winning the Derby last year and back in 2019. Now his son Riley Mott is making his Derby debut. Riley says training a horse to run in the Kentucky Derby is a dream come true.
This is, obviously a lifelong dream that I've had. I've, been dreaming about being a trainer in this industry for my entire life.
And Bill says having 2 horses in the Derby is quite an accomplishment. The last time a father and son faced off in the Kentucky Derby was back in 1964.
And since the first Derby race back in 1875, wagering has been a pastime for the spectators. This year, a new platform will bring AI into the mix. The Louisville Thoroughbred Society is launching a new app called AI Derby. Bettors can use it to go beyond the odds with the historical race data and predictive futures. It also factors in the weather, the jockey, and even where the horses travel from to a race. Officials say they want to create a better betting experience.
The intention is just to bring an added value to the Derby, to the city of Louisville, to tech, innovation, and just have fun with it.
The app will launch exclusively for members of the Thoroughbred Society as a beta test, and officials hope to roll it out on the App Store for anyone to use. The 152nd Kentucky Derby is this Saturday. You can watch it right here on Channel 10.
With the 37th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Colton Hood, defensive back, Tennessee.
Several Vols are now heading to the pros, including redshirt sophomore Colton Hood, as you heard there. Hood will play with the New York Giants and work to bolster the team's defense. The Carolina Panthers picked redshirt junior Chris Brazzell in the 3rd round. Brazzell is the 5th wide receiver to be drafted during the Josh Heupel era.
But one player that people suspected would be picked in the 1st round wasn't drafted until the 4th. Freshman Jermod McCoy will now play for the Las Vegas Raiders. McCoy did not play at all in 2025 because of a torn ACL, but his past performances have caught attention. Officials say because of his injury, some teams believe he could need additional surgery. That's despite running a 4.37 and posting a 40-inch vertical on that same knee during pro day. McCoy said it's up to the Raiders if he needs more surgery, but right now officials say they aren't worried.
We have a great medical staff, like we said, Cortez and Alex G. We're going to get in the building and make all those decisions. But right now, we're really excited about celebrating this kid and getting him in the building. He's 20 years old. He's twitchy. He's fast. He's a cover guy. He's got some punt return skills. And we're really excited to see what he does. And the future's bright for this guy.
McCoy now joins the #1 draft pick Fernando Mendoza, who won the Heisman Trophy after taking the Indiana Hoosiers to their first national championship in program history. We have more about the draft picks on our podcast, Locked On Vols. You can watch Locked On Vols on our streaming app, WBIR Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have more top stories ahead for you as you rush out the door. One person is dead after a boating incident in Tennessee. We're breaking down how many accidents have happened across the state so far this year.
Plus, federal funds and local money are coming together to help tackle Knoxville's housing crisis. At 6:50, hear from officials on how millions of dollars will be used across the city.
And although today is going to be a pretty nice day with highs near 80 degrees, we do have the chance for some showers and thunderstorms arriving midweek. We'll have details on the timing and tracking of this system coming up. Good morning, everybody. The time is 6:45. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Monday. As you head outside, we've got a beautiful sunrise taking shape this morning. A great start to the work week. It's going to be nice and mild today with highs in the 70s and 80s. And this, if you might recognize her, this is Miss London. It was her birthday this last weekend. She was one of our former mini meteorologists not too long ago. So happy birthday, Miss London. Hope it was a great one. We're going to continue to see temperatures back into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees today. Now, I will mention that if you have a case of some seasonal allergies, we'll get another update to the pollen report this morning from the Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Center. Oak, mulberry, cedar, birch, hickory, and elder, those are all in the very high category. Grass is low. Mold is moderate. So that's just kind of an update as to our latest pollen report. Hopefully we start to see some improvements with more rain. Showers and thunderstorms going to be possible tonight. Another round going to move into the area as we go into your Wednesday. I'd say the main concern, is gusty winds, but we also have the potential for some heavy rain as well as maybe up to quarter-size hail. Timing for this system, it's going to start as early as, let's say, tomorrow morning at like 1 a.m., pushing through the time frame of when you're taking the kiddos to school or you're going to work. So drive safe on wet roads tomorrow morning. Speaking of roads, we want to get you outside with a check of your TDOT cameras, drive times sitting in the green as you step outside. Here's a look at I-275 at Baxter Avenue, where everything is moving smooth and steady. And so far, it looks great. Right now, no major slowdowns, perhaps maybe a little bit of a slowdown right after the 40-75 split, but everything else looks great. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. Time now, 6:47. And as you rush out the door, here are the stories you're talking about this morning. Hamlin County firefighters say a home is destroyed after an overnight fire. The South Hamlin County Volunteer Fire Chief says crews responded from each volunteer department to a home off Heron Drive early yesterday morning. No one was hurt. Deputies, though, are looking into what caused that fire.
Wildfire conditions are expected to get worse in Georgia after 120 homes were destroyed and more than 40,000 acres have burned. Officials say the cause of one of the fires was a foil balloon hitting live power lines. Both wildfires are only 10% contained this morning, and officials say more evacuations are expected.
A man is dead after authorities say he fell off a raft and into the Ocoee River. Tennessee wildlife officials say they responded around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. Witnesses say Richard White fell off a raft while he was paddling in the river. Officials say people pulled him out of the water and started CPR until emergency crews arrived to take him to the hospital. This marks the 6th boating death in Tennessee so far this year.
He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual.
Federal investigators say the suspect who fired shots during the White House Correspondents' Dinner wrote about targeting officials of the Trump administration 10 minutes before the attack. Cole Allen is expected to be charged in federal court today. Officials say he was staying at the hotel where the dinner was held, which is why he was able to get through the lobby level.
Millions of Americans could now qualify for Canadian citizenship under a new law. The law allows people who can show they have an unbroken line of Canadian ancestry to claim citizenship. The fee to apply is around $55. Processing could take around 10 months. Officials say more than 20,000 Americans gained dual U.S.-Canadian citizenship last year. That is the rush out for you. And remember, you can always follow us on social media for news updates throughout the day. Now it's time for another update of our Monday forecast with Rebecca.
Good morning, everybody. A beautiful start to the work week with temperatures getting back into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Quiet for the most part today, but we are tracking what is at this moment a weather impact alert day. Tomorrow, this is particularly because we'll see some showers and thunderstorms arrive early tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night and into your Wednesday, we do it all over again. The risk for severe weather, quote unquote, is kind of on the lower end. Like, I'm not like, oh, these are going to be so doom and gloom, but we could see a few little feistier storms, especially across parts of the plateau. And that's going to be primarily why we have that risk in place today. So no storms throughout the day today, but late tonight, tomorrow morning, we see the potential for some showers and thunderstorms, and then similar story tomorrow night. And as we go into your Wednesday, for the most part, that severe weather risk starts to move on out. and we focus our potential on just some rain. So here's a glimpse of your futurecast. So we go all the way through the evening hours and into the early hours of your Tuesday. So by around 1 o'clock, we'll start to see these showers and thunderstorms pushing their way across parts of the plateau. And then really by around sunrise tomorrow, or as you're taking the kiddos to school or heading off to work, a large portion of this activity is going to be moving out. Then the rest of your Tuesday is relatively dry. Tuesday night and into your Wednesday, we see another round of potentially some stronger storms moving into the region. This will move out by the time we head into your Wednesday, and we could see some lingering showers kind of carry on for the rest of your Wednesday before we quiet down heading into the end of the week. Some beautiful, much needed rain. Again, y'all know how much we've been emphasizing on how much we need this rain. So throughout the next 7 days, we could see another 1 to 2 inches of precipitation. Cooler as we get into the start of May, highs back into the 60s and 70s. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. Well, millions of dollars are going to addressing Knoxville's housing crisis. Officials say the focus is on finding solutions for affordability, development, and fairness. This year, Knoxville is expected to get more than $2 million from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Knoxville's Housing and Neighborhood Development Department created an action plan to break down how the money will be used. Lauren Levitt shows us how it lines up with the city's efforts.
Housing. It's a kitchen table issue.
We have children, we have grandchildren, we have people who go to our church, someone we know, someone we love. Our community's affected.
Kevin DeBose works in the city's Housing and Neighborhood Development Office. Each year, federal funding goes towards housing solutions.
And you look at your population, your poverty, and we're slotted a certain amount, and that amount can change. We receive dollars to stabilize, our situation here in Knoxville, and our monies go, for the most part, to keep people in their homes.
That means prioritizing funding for emergency home repair or eviction prevention. He says as the city faces a housing crisis more and more, the solution rests with local leaders.
So over the last, I would say 20 years, our federal funding has gone down. But our local funding has gone up. We receive roughly $2.5 million in federal funds every year for these community development type programs. Well, triple that amount is spent locally.
This year, our commitment to housing continues to grow.
Mayor India Concannon proposed more than $8 million for affordable housing.
We are meeting the moment and delivering results. In the past 5 years, our $50 million investment has helped build more than 3,000 new affordable homes. We have a lot to celebrate. 3,000 is a big number and represents hope and a home for thousands of new Knoxville neighbors.
Last year, federal funding helped more than 600 people, and more than 400 people received emergency shelter services.
You can learn more about the city's action plan right now on our website, WBIR.com. Coming up tomorrow morning on 10 News Today, a Tennessee veteran is pushing back on a federal law after he had to medically retire. Here his plea to get his VA disability and retirement benefits despite not meeting the service requirement. Join us tomorrow morning starting at 4:27. More traffic and weather right after the break.
Good morning, everybody. One final glimpse of your 7-day forecast. We're going to continue to see highs today back into the lower 80s. Showers and thunderstorms arrive late tonight, early tomorrow morning, so a little bit of a busier start to your Tuesday. And then another round of showers and thunderstorms moves into the area tomorrow night and into your Wednesday. The rest of the week, ladies, it's going to be kind of cool to start off May, maybe a little bit below average.
Maybe a good time to have a baby.
Yes. I mean, bring on these strong low pressure systems.
This is the big goodbye. Next time we see you, you'll be a mom of 4.
Let's meet this baby.